Coming up tonight, Gary joins the over 50s club. Andy from Schneider drops a socket. We discovered a real use for a lemon. Joe Hammond's getting generous for Black Friday. And is this the most intelligent circuit breaker in the world?
Welcome to eFIXX TV, our fortnightly stream here on Facebook and on YouTube. And we thank you ever so much for joining us. If you're joining us live, we'd love your comments to come pouring in so we can answer as many as we can. However, if you're watching it on catch-up, we also love those comments because they will help drive future streams. Now, we've got tonight's one, which is the future of circuit protection. Acti 9 goes online. And we're going to delve into that, and this has been long overdue, I think. I'd like to suggest straight away that circuits out there have been given tons data, but we've never been able to harvest it.
Sounds like you've been listening to our guest from Schneider, Gary.
Yes,
and
I have been.
as someone who you normally keep away from anything that goes online, so hopefully we can change your opinion tonight and dive into some great features. I'm sure a lot of people already use the Acti 9 product from Schneider. If you are using it, put a comment in and ask some questions because we've got some fantastic guests tonight. A few more members of the eFIXX team and Andy from Schneider. I think they're in the green room.
Yeah, so they might get a little cheeky wave.
There we go.
Jen's over there as well, trying to stay out of shot. She's in shot, so there they are. Look at this. Yeah, I know. So they're going to join us today and we're going to go over this. Okay, I think we need probably a little bit of a seeding. We've had a play around already today and we've got a little short video just to whet your appetite. Let's bring that in next.
Thanks to the innovative ISO bar, the Schneider Acti 9 range stands out with its top-notch electrical safety features. This system isolates the connection to the circuit protection device, increasing safety. Plus, it's certified to BS 60947-3 standards as an offload isolator and can be locked securely in the off position. Every Acti 9 Isobar P distribution board has a little lemon tool that makes opening and closing the Isobar tabs a breeze. In Acti 9 devices, the green line is a mechanical shutter directly connected to the contacts. If you don't see it when in the off position, it's a sign that the contacts could be welded closed. The new Acti 9 active device can shoot you a message with real-time leakage current values and more.
If that's not enough for you, you've also got a great competition and a fantastic offer. So there's no excuses not to stay right to the end of this stream, is there, Gordon?
You could. You'll find out how you could win something like this. You've got the hat in.
Oh, got it all, haven't I?
Petronas, AMG, Mercedes Formula 1 team.
Yeah, over-enthusiastic dad on race side with small go-karts, suggesting one day we would be working with Mercedes. I
think that you'll be now. Yes, as you hop into the transit van on Thursday, people will be thinking, "Wow, who have we got here?"
Yeah,
Nigel Mansell.
Yeah, well, nobody will know who he is. You've got to go up a little bit from there.
Well, we'll get to age concern later on. But there we go. And it's good to see so many regular viewers on there. Sean Dempsey, I can see in there. And someone actually tuned in from Kenya.
Oh, right, brilliant.
Which obviously I would like to get out there at some point just to check on what the electrics are like out in Kenya.
Just a quick one for Sean. You want to check that your chocolates haven't dropped down into the lower compartment of your advent calendar, because it happened to one of ours over here, didn't it? We did a test and we opened the advent calendar and we were missing a few until we took it completely out of its wrapper and we found them in the bottom. Yeah. Okay, talking of that, what a nice segue. Talking of bottoms, let's bring them in. It's the bottom of the electrical industry almost, as we bring in Joe Robinson and Andy. Yes, Andy, yes, that's you. So when I say Andy, Andy's the big clue's in the name. Yeah. So Jennifer wasn't Andy. So hello, mate. How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
We've had a great day today and you've been wonderful company. I'm just hoping we can carry that on live on the TV. I know some people get a little nervous when they get on camera, probably won't get a word in edgewise. So if you want to go now, Andy, tell us 60 seconds about yourself. So the audience can get a little bit of a gist of whether you're going to be quick on the race wall.
I currently live in Shropshire. I've been working for Schneider for nearly 12 years now, and I work as part of the marketing team. So I've got a partner of 3 years, Debs. We like travelling together. I'm a football fan. I support Everton. Don't boo.
Yeah.
I know.
Does football fan and Everton go together? But
yeah, from Luton. So actively hoping that the Hatters can beat Leeds tonight, but it's not going so well, is it? Yeah, I've been doing the training job for about 4 years now, and it combines my hobby with my work. So it's all about telling the stories of what we're trying to do. So as Acti 9 evolves, it tells a different story, and that's what we're going to be looking at tonight.
So your hobby storytelling?
It is, funny enough.
Have you got a new book out?
But I have.
Oh,
Yes.
What are the chances?
Professional
Yeah, look at this. So we come over here, let's have a look at it. So is this the first book or
It's
book
the
of
first of hopefully many.
Okay, so is it going to be a series? Is there going to be Bump 2? Bump
There's going
the
to be
Revenge?
Bump's Great Adventures coming
yeah.
soon in 2025.
Bumped Off?
Well, you never know.
Oh, that's the last one, and I've ruined it already, haven't I? Yes.
What inspired you to do that?
It was just something I've always wanted to do. I've always been writing things and never finishing them. So I've actually finally finished a book and got it to be published, and I've got it out there on the World Wide Web.
It's a huge leap as well to actually get to
yeah, it's
the
exciting.
stage, isn't
It's
it?
exciting.
Almost takes
Yeah.
a lot of effort, like, yeah.
But as I say, I combine therefore my hobby with my work, because in my work for Schneider, putting together training plans, and it's an awareness piece. So we're trying to make people more aware of Schneider products and also the evolution of trends, etc. And I think this connected story we're going to be talking about tonight fits beautifully into
Oh, he's weaving the story already, hasn't
It
he?
went like this. Okay. Well, talking, you're here, so just give us a few rundown of what you've been up to.
Oh, focusing on CPDs heavily at the moment. We've
Don't
got
mention
lots
the
of those
darts.
Cooking away.
Don't mention the
darts.
darts.
Sorry, we're back in here.
I wasn't gonna mention
Sorry,
the
Andy,
darts.
let's mention the darts.
Shall we mention the darts?
Because it's a
I think we
sporting
should.
activity. It will give everybody an idea of how competitive you are. Okay, so you played the very hard sport of round-the-clock darts, is that right?
Yes.
Did you have to end on a ball?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you did it all the way around. So how did you get on?
I caught up with him.
Right, okay.
After he'd finished, I had about another 10 rounds of darts, and at that point I'd caught up with him. So I did do the whole thing, but it took me quite a lot longer than I guessed today. He was fantastic on the dartboard.
If only Warren and consuming it was as easy as playing darts
There we go.
against Joe, then
Probably still beat me at that.
Well, on that bombshell, it does mean it is time for everyone watching at home to join in. We have only got one challenger on the wall today. It is Andy, so it's really easy tonight with the chance to win a prize. You just have to guess the time that Andy completed the challenge wall in minutes and seconds. I will give you a clue. It is less than 60 minutes, but the seconds will leave to you. So get that in. What we're winning, we've got some new sticker sets, haven't we? We're sending out at the minute.
Yeah, stickers. And we've got some guests in here. If we wanted to jump up, I think I've already had pre-warning that I'm not allowed to film all of the team, but we have got some people in there, so we perhaps see the sticker sheets and things like that we've got that are going out. So it's just the one time we've got to go in. Obviously, we didn't do you. We could have had you on the race wall. You could have had a comparison.
I built the thing. It wouldn't be fair, would it?
You lost at darts, though, didn't you? Lost at darts. Yeah. So not a huge amount of electrical background for Andy, but a hugely competitive gentleman. And I would suggest that came out of him very strongly during it. So only one guess.
Not a darts competition.
Only one guess, remember.
And people have already noticed, Gary, as well. We've also got some new cushions on the chair.
Oh, have we? Yes. Well, yes. We'd just like to thank our good friends at Dog Store. We'd actually like to thank his lovely wife for making these for us. We've all got a padded seat. It was just one selfish set last time, and one person only ever got to sit on the soft ones. Yeah. So you're joining me. Yeah, you're joining me now with a soft seat. It's all good.
Plenty of good times in. The last chance to get your times in. And just if everyone is mentioned, these are actually, people think, what are these chairs like to sit in? They are incredibly uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, they really are. After about, the reason a live stream lasts about an hour and a half is because if any longer, we wouldn't be able to stand afterwards. So absolutely. Then we've got, right, I guess we're ready. Loads of times, everyone thinks you're going to be pretty fast. Yeah. So I haven't seen this. Gary helped you with it, so that's not often, not often a good thing.
That's not good.
Did we film the darts?
No, we didn't do the darts. Let's cut in. Let's see what we're doing.
Defend yourself, Andy. I'm coming in.
Who's up first?
Here we go.
It is
Andy.
Andy.
Yeah, what are the chances? We're going to see it.
Right.
Here we go. So I was with you for this. So I did get to see it up close and personal. The first one. Remember, it is your fastest.
Hold on, that screw's already off.
No, I think that's an edit. We've done. Fumbled. Yeah. So we've obviously had to cut the extensive amount of footage we got. We could have a director's cut. We could have a director's cut plus, and we could have the fan edition, and all of them would be in tens
give a bit
of
of
minutes.
side eye there,
Time
Gary.
limit on the live stream, though,
Yeah, absolutely. So
Right, here we go.
But well done. I never thought that lump would have got up first time, and you managed to get it up. And it was first time. That wasn't edited. Yeah, so you're quite right to be proud.
Remember to take it through the trunk in there instead of over the trunk in. So that was good.
Absolutely. Have you ever thought about growing your hair out for this festive season? Because I think it wouldn't take much, would it?
Yeah, I'm working on my ho-ho-hos at the moment.
Absolutely. And this was working on. Yeah, I had to give you some instructions on which way around to go on the stripper. So I'm presuming, because it's race number 1 or run number 1, it's probably not going to be as quick as any of the others, but we don't film any of the others because it's more chance that you'll embarrass yourself on this one. Now, I did sort of snooker you a bit with the screwdriver, didn't I? Because eventually I gave you a different one.
Yeah.
I tried to give you one screwdriver fits all.
Yeah, I know, that's going to be nasty.
You did request some, you know, cut some blood.
And they look
so I nearly
supple, those
arrived
hands.
there.
They don't look like they've seen much DIY.
Well, come on to that.
Well, colouring in's a lot easier to do.
It could have been easier if you were using Schneider breakers. A little feature we'll come into a little bit later on.
Oh, okay. So. Well, that's neat. Nothing wrong with neatness. So in we go again. Look at them hands. They're super soft. So now I've changed the screwdriver. I cunningly gave you the posi drive one so you get those done. I was trying to help you with one screwdriver. You did this really well, but more than once. So I always thought, you know, it's like you did it well, do it again.
You didn't need the butt, did you?
No,
you just stopped it. You did it.
Hopefully a clever. You couldn't resist it.
Probably my favourite bit of the whole event, to be honest, Gary.
I can't never remember which the dog that looks Snow White. What them dogs? Real
Snowy?
Snow White? No, they're all big.
Pomeranian.
Pomeranian. I'd never have got that.
Well, you clearly weren't listening to the news this week.
That's not.
It's Norwegian word.
I've actually got a confession to make about an episode of the news, yeah, but we'll circle back to that.
Right.
Geography.
No, something else that you don't know about.
So, for the first time ever, folks, we're going to lurch into the confessions of an electrician. That could be an interesting series coming up. We may have window cleaner, plumber, and all other tradespeople as well. Just
Right, here we go. Meanwhile, back on the challenge world. Right, 2 connections.
Hour and a half later.
Yeah.
We put these in the same turn.
Now he twists them up. If you get any footage here, he has a disaster. That fell out again, so we had another crack at it. So that came back out for the second time. Yeah. So every time you did it, it was mega finger tight. I blame
on being left-handed, Gary.
The demo, look, he's twisting them up.
Nice. Everyone loves a twister.
Oh, yeah. I'm left-handed. The demo was left-handed.
I get some abuse in the comments.
Yeah, well, there's people out there that just ridicule people that don't double over terminals. So if a single-stranded, twisted, all sorts of mess there. So glasses were great because you used them at the start because you're obviously visually impaired, and then by the end of it, your vision had improved. You decided to abandon the glasses.
Took them off. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a novel approach. And then at one point, you laid them on the floor and I nearly trod on them.
Right.
Blame is fair.
Absolutely. Wow.
I'm worn out watching myself.
Yeah, you should be.
To be honest.
You took long enough to wear yourself out. Well, the only way to find out, G-Dog, is to get
It
the
is,
times.
and you don't know anybody on that board, do you?
I don't. No.
Hang on, say that again. You don't know
anybody on that board.
Anybody on that board?
Do you know anyone on?
Oh, there's 2 boards though, isn't there? And do you know anyone on this board?
Well, that's that board. This is the board.
You know Rick. Let's see if you beat Rick. That's all we're interested in.
Yeah.
Your time's still going by the looks of things.
Not be far off, actually.
Yeah.
So obviously the first thing I'm looking at is I'm on completely the wrong board.
Yeah, it was
Need to
pretty
be
obvious.
over here.
It's whether we're low. You want to be low now, don't you, Gordon? You want to be right at the bottom of this board.
Yeah, you want to be bottom of that one. David Draper. Interesting, because you had David Draper at the bottom.
Yeah.
And Carl both worked for Vargo.
Yeah.
But obviously Carl just got peeped. He slipped off the top spot a while ago, a couple of weeks ago. Thankfully, Andy, you will be getting close to Carl, but not close enough. You did say you want to be under 10 minutes.
That was the aim.
And we can just slip you in here.
We're in the 7s.
Yes.
Oh, that's a big
7
improvement.
minutes and 42.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that is from where you went from. That was good. Look at that. He's even getting a little bit of a round.
You're just slower. You're
Thank you very much.
just slower than another marketeer who works at RF Solutions there, Jamie. So,
all right, okay, well done. Pleased with that?
I absolutely take that. And it does prove, I can just say to all the electricians and installers out there, it proves that the reason you're doing your job so well is marketeers and colouring in people should stick to doing colouring in and marketing.
He's said it all day. Every opportunity I'll colour in for a living.
Crawling.
Everybody's got their role to play, and I've just proved that darts is mine.
Okay. Well, we've got a souvenir, so yeah, for you. So maybe it's your new darts shirt you could wear, couldn't you? Get it all embroidered up and that. So as seen on eFIXX TV. So you got your own T-shirt. I think that's your first of many darts T-shirts. Yeah, no worries.
Overwhelmed, chap. I mean, overwhelmed, chap.
Yeah, but you can only get one if you come on and embarrass yourself on the race wall. So you've done well. So it's good.
And just before we go back there, John, we'll circle it. There's another confession you said there.
Yeah. Challenge words in the news this week. I completely forgot to put the second one in.
So
actually, people have been guessing 2 words this week for the challenge word, and there's only one of them in. So I'm going to have to figure out how to fix that over the course of the week. So I'll issue a full apology in the news for Monday.
Did he get thrown out there as you got geography horrendously wrong?
Well, that did come up, the fact that apparently Glasgow's not in Scotland.
Yeah.
No, not in England. It is in Scotland. And
Wrong again.
sorry, I'll get it.
Yeah.
However, the blame for that one lands firmly on our scriptwriter, who never leaves Circle of 25, apparently.
Not the
He
person
said
reading
you
the
should.
words.
He said you should have proofread it. That was his argument.
Do you think that's one or two blue packs? I think, two blue plaques.
Oh, a
I
blue
think there's a
plaque,
couple
yeah.
there. Like you could.
Again, I've said it before, to get a blue plaque, you've got to admit you were wrong. Some people find that hard.
I think I won Ring versus Radio. I beat the Irish at their own sports. I think I'm never wrong. So it doesn't
Gary,
matter.
you've been in Scotland this week as well. Did you get any abuse?
Actually, was it just like the north of England, wasn't it, according to you?
According to Ray.
Yeah,
According to
well,
Ray.
that's what you said. Yes, I've been out at a college connection, at West Lothian College.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I would just like to say, if any of those who might join us, Scott was brilliant. They all were down there. Thomas was brilliant as well. So an amazing college, probably one of the best that I've ever been to all round. The learners, the level they were being taught at, the work in the practical workshop, the humour banter from the staff that were not affected by being in there. It was just a wonderful place to turn up and spend a couple of days with. So eFIXX College Connections are closed for 2024. We go out again in January. I've also put a post out on all social media just to say thank you for all the people that support these College Connections. We couldn't do it without their support, and it's been a brilliant year. And we're back out again come January. We'll be back out in the wild
And
again.
even brought us that the water's gone up this week. You notice we're now on
we're in
Scottish mountain water.
Absolutely. Well, I won't drink the filth we have down here now after I've been up there, that pure water. Most of it splashed off the side of my face when I went frozen cold. Oh, it was bitterly cold up there, and they said it weren't too bad. Right.
So that's Northern England mountain watch.
Yes, it is. Yeah, just in the north of England. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Next time if we bring a bottle of malt back.
Yeah, okay. All right, I didn't have time.
Yeah.
Didn't have time. Right, Andy, we're going to fire the questions at you. You're going to answer. We've got a great display board down here as well. We're going to use hand cam to bring this to life. We've done some bits already off camera. I think it's fantastic. We've done several videos before on the system. So we're going to start off with then...
Do we have a challenge word winner? Do we have a time winner as well?
Well, we haven't had the phone yet, have we?
No.
We have to wait for the phone, Gordon.
Yeah.
They do that off
Put the
camera.
ring in it.
Yeah, okay. Just checking. Thanks for
Just
interrupting.
checking.
Where are we up to, Gordon?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing
That's
this?
where we're up to.
Got to keep on.
Falling apart over him.
So, vast the audience who's fitting stuff on the Acti 9
Yes, we have.
range.
Yeah. So
yes.
yeah, be good to know if anyone is fitting Acti 9. I'd be there should be.
If you go to a large installation and we walk to the mains end, it's going to be an Acti 9 board more often than not.
Yes.
What are the market leaders?
We're market leaders because we've earned the reputation that the board's got, because we've innovated from the start, really. Schneider's passionate about innovation. We reinvest 5% of our global turnover every year into new products, new innovations. So what we're working on now, you'll be seeing in 3, 4, 5 years' time. And Acti 9's gone through the same process. So we think about it from the installation backwards. We don't think about the cosmetics and what it looks like. We think about the purpose, what it's designed to do. And it's designed to primarily provide safe and effective power distribution. So we start there. We make sure our products are safe. It's the number one paramount element of what Schneider do. We have to be safe. And then we make it easier to install. If we make it easier to install, you can save time. So with the evolution of Isobar, we brought in this fantastic mechanism where you can make sure that a device isn't live until you just press the tabs across. I think you're going to demonstrate that later.
Yeah, we are later on. Yeah, we're going to have a little run through that. So, manufacturing-wise, where are we building all these great products? Where's your research and development departments? Where are we positioning those?
Well, we're a French company. Many people think actually Schneider Electric is a German company, but we're actually a French company. Very proud to be a French company. We have factories across the globe, and another one of our features is we manufacture all our own products. So we have full jurisdiction over our boards, over our devices, over our breakers, etc. But the innovation for Acti 9 comes from the product teams, from the line of business, and looking at the trends, talking to the customers, getting voice of customer, and just understanding what the pinch points might be when you're installing a board. So cabling space. So when we introduced Isobar P, so the plug-on neutral in 2018, that was all about making that installation quicker. And we saved, if a typical installation with Isobar took nearly 3 hours, we shaved nearly half off. So we saved for a board installation an hour 20, hour 30 minutes.
Could that mean that people would specify your equipment because it's quicker to install
Absolutely.
than the competitors?
We've got customer testimony stating that they like the Schneider products because it means they can put in a lower installation quote into a job. So it can actually win people business.
Yeah,
if you can demonstrate that the installation, if you've got 10 boards to install, that's 10 hour saving. If you extrapolate that out by an hourly rate of an installer, then you've got a good pitch there.
Now,
back when I was doing electrical design, actually, we used to specify between you and another big brand, and a lot of the electricians used to come back and ask if we could swap it to Schneider,
right,
because they just enjoyed fitting it so much.
Yeah.
Needed a little bit of a tweak in the design, a bit of a recalculation, but yeah, it was very popular back then.
But with everything else, we don't stand still, and what we're going to talk about a little bit later is the next evolution of the Acti 9 story.
Now we're going to come back to some of the install features later on. If people don't already understand what you're on, we're going to focus in on your AFDD.
Ooh,
I mean, AFDD is always...
in there, no messing.
We'll go straight in there, because this one is slightly different in the fact that it communicates with it.
Well, let's start from the beginning. Primarily, it's an arc fault detection device. Let's be clear about that. So it does all the stuff you'd expect an arc fault detection device to do. However, as you quite rightly say, it's also a connected product. So providing you have the right solution build, you can actually take the data. You mentioned it earlier, Gary, this magic invisible data. You can take data from a circuit, and providing it's connected up to a concentrator or our panel servers, which we'll come on to a little bit later as well. Providing you connect it up, you can start to see what the circuits are doing. Continuously monitoring the parameters of the circuit.
I'm sure everyone's going to say straight away, it's 2 module, it's twice as
36 mil, and we're proud to be 36 mil because of everything we pack into that device.
Right.
Now, we often get levied at us that, well, you've got a 2 module AFDD. I can go and get a single module AFDD from a competitor. Absolutely no issue with that. That's exactly right. But we have to make sure we're talking apples for apples. So a single module AFDD is typically a 6KA rated device for residential purposes. Acti 9 Active is a 10KA rated device for commercial industrial applications. So we have to be careful that we're comparing apples with apples. And even if someone has got a 10KA rated AFDD that might be a single module, it won't have the additional connected features that Acti 9 Active's got.
Okay, so space relates to what you've crammed into it, not because you're trying to just take 2 modules for any other reason.
Going back to our ethos of safety first as a global principle of the brand, if we could produce all of that in a single module,
You would be.
we would and will.
Yeah.
We would and will.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's like mobile phones. They started that big, they're now that big. So eventually, we will get to a point where we can get all of that and more into a smaller device. But at the moment, we're happy with 36 mil and proud, because all that you're getting for that in one device is quite considerable. Plus, you've got that built-in element of the power tag, which I know you guys have looked at before in one of your other
We're going to come on to that.
very popular shows, may I add.
I'll take you to
The numbers are outstanding, I do.
always numbers are always out over time. So people go searching. You know, it's like everything else. We've obviously installed this board here. All the time you approach a new product, you just want a video that helps you get through the basics first.
Luckily,
Yeah. Luckily, we made one, because I mean, it's like all manufacturers really. The range on this is immense. So when you're starting out, sometimes there's a bit of a minefield to navigate it. And so Gary watched somebody else install the board and learned everything he didn't know.
Yeah, it was a tough day. You know, Eddie was there, he was grafting away and that, and I was having to hold a camera and walk around and get better angles.
They
do get considerably tired.
On your feet, yeah.
Yeah, all day long as he was wiring that one in. But no, we've gone on that story, haven't we? As we've gone through. So yeah.
Now, just to come back to that point you raised there about the different, obviously, braking capacity ratings, I found this problem on site a couple of weeks ago. I popped out the Leeds. We just bring the screen in, Joe.
Is this where we get the 6 to 10? Or
Yeah. So this is
looking for a new building to live in with.
This is a block of flats in Leeds. I was there on another mission, but obviously once you're in there, you start having to dig around. And I found this in the plant room. So that's actually a 3-phase distribution board, but obviously they couldn't fit AFDDs in it, so they've come out with this slightly extension box on the side and put 2 AFDDs in there. They're probably 6K rated, I would say. Interested to see if you just bring that back in. Guys, keen tonight, isn't it? There's a lot more. There's more to this than we're looking at here. There's hidden depths in here. That's at the base of the flats. That brick building there is the substation for the flats.
Oh right.
So in terms of fault current, we are right next to the substation. So that's that problem. So 2 things that sort of sprung up from me. You can put us back on there, John. There you go. That's the. A lot of people, when they're thinking AFDDs, high-rise buildings, you have to fit them on socket circuits. What I didn't realise is you forget, actually, that the landlord's socket circuits
Absolutely
also need them as well, and that's what they were powering. So
and just just to be clear on that's 18th edition Amendment to regulations.
Well done.
So,
thank you. Thank you for clearing that up.
That's okay.
Without you, we'd have been lost there. Yeah, keep it going, Andy.
But my point was going to be they stipulate that it must be, it shall be used.
Yeah.
That's no.
There's no leeway on that, is there?
There's no leeway.
Tell us the other three now. You're on a roll.
Well, I wouldn't want to take your thunder, Gary.
Oh, I'll go for one. I'll take care homes off you. Go on, you go for one.
Did we do high-rise residential?
That was the I think I was
that one. What did you say?
Care homes.
Come on, lads. No pressure.
Accommodation.
No pressure.
Student accommodation.
Houses are multiple occupants, HMOs.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the four out there.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's recommended on all socket circuits up to 32 amps. Okay, remember that's the sockets themselves value, not the actual value of the breaker size. So, so it should be out there. So
it's all about, comes back to protection and safety. We're not saying the regs aren't saying it's got to be done because of anything other than the fact the protection of people. Protection of people and protection of property.
Now, interesting, if you look at, obviously, the board, two-module have had to change the configuration of the Acti 9 slightly to do it.
So this is, this is a sample rig that we're using for training purposes. So this isn't, for anybody else, this isn't a board you can get off the shelf. I'm sure we'll get somebody who'll go, oh, that's a nice small one, we can't, we can use that. But you can see there's some subtle differences. Those that have fitted Acti 9 in the past will recognise the top section, which is your typical classic Acti 9 isobar P.
So we've got the single pole bus bar at the top.
Absolutely, yeah.
But then as you pan down towards the base of it, you can see that the configuration changes slightly and there's a little bit more.
So in this example, we've got space for 6 AFDDs. Yeah.
And when you say it's a sample board, you will be able to get this style of configuration. It's just the one you look around.
So there's off the shelf available, ready available. There's 3. It's what we call a hybrid board, and it's the first to market with the hybrid board that combines both the standard circuit protection and Acti 9 active artful devices. 3 configurations of the hybrid board, and there's also 3 configurations of a standalone AFDD board. And we talk about, as one word that creeps into our dialogue a lot now, is future-proofing, because as we've just seen, as we've just discussed, there's a requirement for AFDDs. Now, that requirement may be lesser or greater depending on the application, depending on the requirement. But you could quite easily install the hybrid board without any AFDDs to start with if you know there's going to be a requirement in the future. But another great feature of Acti 9, the offer, it's a modular offer. So, I mean, I'm very pleased to say I'm sitting in a building here that's protected by Acti 9. I have to say that eFIXX chose the best.
Do you feel really safe?
I do feel very, very safe. Absolutely, yeah.
You don't want to go in the other building.
Just looking behind me here at these spare terminals here on our solar.
So you're on a live stream with Gary. You're never really safe.
But it's a modular design, so you've got space area. If there was a requirement here for AFDD, you could take one of the standalone AFDD boards and add it into the fit, depending on space, etc., etc. But it's a modular approach, and that's one of the cornerstones of what Acti 9 is all about.
So we've got AFDDs, that's fine. Lots of people have got AFDDs. They might not have that current rating, but this one has got inbuilt communications in it.
This is where we start.
Clarify before we go on. There's another manufacturer made in AFDD that you could update the software with. There's not this one. When we say communication, this is communication outwards to people about what's going on in it. And I was digging through the data sheet on there. You can set this up to send you an alert if the leakage current, for instance, starts creeping up. You could set an alert lower than the rating of the device.
You can set, there's lots of things that the Acti 9 active device does. The first thing it does is continuously monitor the parameters of that circuit. So whatever's attached to it, it monitors the circuit and it can start to pick up if there's going to be a degradation in that circuit. And you can set what we call a pre-alarm. May or may not be common parlance to people, but a pre-alarm is if you set a threshold and it starts to creep near that threshold, then you've got the ability to get someone to go and have a look at what the problem might be and rectify that problem.
So in theory, you could set it, say, 20 milliamps on a 30 milliamp device, and so the device won't trip, but it will give you a little heads up. It feels like something's going wrong, you might want to look at this.
Absolutely. It's clever. And again, that comes back to the ethos that we've done. We thought about, A, the installation, but B, what the purpose of this product is and what the purpose could become of this connected solution. Even if it hasn't got a pre-alarm and something does trigger or something does trip or there's an art fault incident, then you can send an alarm indication to, again, a facility manager or something. So at least you can go in and take some action.
So it's activated. So let's go for the worst case scenario. The device is activated for a reason. We don't know what it is. We'll get an alert to say it's been activated. And if that was a critical service,
Yes.
there's a chance we could be there a lot quicker to re-energise that circuit, or at least trying to find a fault. Is there any practical examples you've had of that?
Well, it's a real and present danger, dare I say. And so we had an example a few weeks ago. It was part of our one of our sales communities had a call on a Monday to say that a lab that deals with embryo development, they'd had a power outage on the Sunday and they'd lost a whole cabinet of embryos, and that was about £250,000 worth of loss. Now, if they'd have had the connected solution and they'd have been able to have that alert, then hopefully they could have taken some remedial action to avoid that loss. And that's not just trying to scaremonger, by the way. There's lots of other examples. It could be fridges, it could be freezers.
I've got one. Yeah, because I've got AFDDs at home, and one of mine tripped on the freezer circuit, and I had to throw out a bag of peas.
A whole bag?
A whole bag of peas. Unused, but unfrozen.
On knees or elbows, weren't they, when you're in the gym?
You're out in the middle of nowhere, Gordon. That's not. You can't just nip down the road and replace those easily, can you?
They weren't just any old peas, they were from the spa.
Ah, so poor quality but expensive.
Yes. Community retailing, Joe, that's what it's called these days.
Holding people hostage.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I had to throw out a bag of peas because the AFDD tripped.
They weren't alerted, you had to find out yourself. Okay, in a domestic situation, probably when we've got any issues, have we? But that great example there, £250,000. Now, people will always say, to get quality, whether it be anything in life, you have to spend probably a little bit more money than maybe you initially thought. But for them, that was just a £250,000 mistake if they had an option. They didn't
4
have
bags of peas.
I always enjoy
£250,000.
I always enjoy the dialogue about price, because invariably the Schneider solution, excuse me, is always probably at the higher end of the price.
You're right there. People are already in the car.
No, absolutely, and we get that. But I like to bring it back to what the value proposition is. So what you're paying for. Yeah. So if we're installing a system that has this protection in it because it's a connected solution and it helps you avoid a situation, then the value proposition of that is enormous. If you're only looking to install a basic kit, then we've got KQ distribution boards that would solve that gap, but that's another show, hopefully, for another time.
Not your department at Schneider, though.
Well, it could. But just get the little quote in there about KQ. But it's horses for courses. What is the purpose? What are you trying to achieve? It's almost what I call a 1 + 1 = 3 scenario. So I believe with this Schneider solution, when you bolt all of our products together, you get something better and bigger at the end. You know, we have a lot of competitors who can provide a final distribution board and breakers that are all excellent and competitive, but have they got the ability to connect all that together and show you and tell you that this is what's going on your circuit?
And if you look at the value of the thing you're protecting, and if it's high enough, then this becomes the better option, because in the long term it'll save you money, won't
Absolutely.
it?
And it will. I mean, this touches on many mega trends, as it were, many trends that are current.
But let's have a look at what he's communicating to, because I think we haven't said yet.
Well, absolutely.
I mean, before you go, there's 2 questions. Yeah, they're all. I'm trying to answer the questions here, Gary. Now, your mate, Steve Skillen.
Oh, I love Steve.
Oh, there you go. Right, it makes time for you now. Steve's about to cut you off.
Steve,
and obviously, he's concerned. Can you disable the communication? That's the one. So.
Can you
disable the communication?
Like holiday mode on your emails?
No, I think...
you don't want to know it's true.
I would imagine you wouldn't want to do that, because even if you're on holiday, then someone needs to know.
But you can operate them without communication, can't you? They'll still function as regular devices.
Yeah, I mean, the bit we're about to talk to, you can still see data off that circuit manually without the need to be connected. And that sounds a bit mixed up, but it's a very good. This is another key point of what we're talking about here with this connected solution.
Some people, and we've had it a lot. IoT. Some organisations get very suspicious when you start putting stuff on their network. That's the sort of. I think that's probably where the question's coming from.
Very, very close to our safety security ethos is our cyber security ethos. So again, you have absolute guarantee that it's.
Yeah.
There's no issue with cyber security on this. We're not trying to dig into anybody's circuits. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to protect.
You'd say that if you were trying to do it, though, wouldn't you? Well, you've got to say to yourself, you've come on here and you've said that because you're probably trying to.
But I'm a very genuine man, as you know. So,
It's hard to imagine what you do with that kind of data, isn't it?
No, it's a valid.
Got a little bit of leakage going on ring final circuit 3.
Let's take down the country.
But to be fair, Gary, it's a valid point, because it's a concern for a lot of people. So I'm pleased to hopefully answer that.
You got another one?
Yeah, question for you, Gary. Does sheltered accommodation fall under care homes for AFDD?
Sheltered accommodation,
Yeah.
it should be a care home.
Yeah.
So. But again, there's nothing stopping you putting them in on all sockets under 32 amps, or 32 amps and below, I should clarify that. Yep.
Anyway, we can go back. You're going to look at the nice green pretty box,
Yeah,
Gary.
so now first of all, we're going to look at this. So again, this is now communicating with something. Okay, yep, and this is where we've got this piece of kit in here, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
if
Andy,
you want it.
Talk me through it. It's got a lovely green thing on here, but we
Yeah.
could just...
Satisfaction.
look at that. I'll stick it back on, no one will know. Right, okay.
That's probably going to be the highlight of the show, that, Gary.
Sorry, that's properly bothering me. That can't stay like that.
Oh, look at that. You don't want to scratch it then. Is this your test? Are you going to have to stick that back on?
Don't worry.
First
don't
person
worry.
to touch it. Right, so this is the brains, is it? Is this what it is?
If you like, let's just go back by saying, right, the Acti 9 active device can work as a standalone AFDD. However, if you want to see the data and what's happening with that circuit, you've got three options.
So effectively, it can be a dumb item, just works exactly as it should do as
An arc fault detection
device, which is an A-type RCBO and MCB in one. Fine. If you want the granular detail, we've got this bit of kit here. What is this called?
That is called a panel server gateway.
Okay, all right.
Drum roll.
Well, yeah.
It's a concentrator. So if
got
you
two
think
names.
about all that data that's coming out of the Acti 9 active devices, plus, as you'll see there, the power tag device, which we've got attached there that you've done your previous work on. Those wireless inputs from both power tags and the Acti 9 active devices are going to go into that green box, the panel server gateway.
Okay.
That data, you can read the data in three ways. So you don't need to have a BMS system, a building management system. You don't need to have Schneider's EcoStructure platforms, but again, that's another show for you guys to talk about EcoStructure, which is our BMS sort of solutions suite. You can read it off of the built-in web page on the panel server, so you can actually see what's going on. There's a lot of data included in that. So you can see tangible readings manually if you haven't got the BMS. I would say it's an open protocol device, so it does connect with third-party BMSs. So again, we're not saying you've got to buy Schneider, but what we will be able to demonstrate is the benefit of the EcoStructure suite, for example, and what else it can do. But three ways of reading the data off that circuit: manually from the panel server, built-in web page, third-party BMS, Schneider Electric EcoStructure suites. So once you can start to see what's doing, you can see what's happening real and present. You can also start to look at trends. So you can look at historical data. Depending on the model you choose, there's only three models to choose from: basic, intermediate and advanced, so good, better, best. So it's a nice and easy and coherent range. And obviously with the advanced model, you get 3 years data login and you get the ability to look into trends. Because once you can look into trends, you can start to see peaks and troughs. You can start to see energy consumption. And it can tell you silly things like if you're leaving a row of lights on in a building, in a factory every night.
Yeah.
And then you can see that there's an energy spike and there's nobody in the building. You can look into that and you can turn it off.
can
Guess
me-
what?
You measure it, you can manage it. Yeah.
Is that your saying?
Somebody said it. If you can measure it, you can manage it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But everyone concentrates on stuff, fault protection, but energy management. The amount of obviously, electricity is not cheap now, and it's pretty expensive. And obviously, you can move forward time of day, use it. So, people forget that. People get hung up on the price of the solution, but the amount of
value for money propositions.
the amount of energy that flows through this,
Absolutely.
that's the most expensive thing.
But okay, so if you put an installation in with all the bells and whistles, with the Acti 9, with the power tag, with the panel server, if you put all that in, it's going to cost X amount of money. But then when you start to look at those trends and you start to take the data and make decisions for the safety of the building or the health of the circuits, or then the energy management aspects, then that return on investment is going to be rapid. Once you've paid for that kit with all the energy you've saved, anything after that, once you've paid for it, you're going to continue saving that money. So that's where it turns into a real value for money proposition.
Is that a calculation that you could give a company? Like I know in the old days, I know we haven't spoken about this before, but like lighting companies would go in and say, we can save you this much energy in this much time. Is it part of the proposition that managing it means you can save it?
Yeah, we have a digital energy team, and we have other parts of the business that can give you some modelling advice and guidance.
Okay.
I'm not even going to pretend to try and guess what that is. But yes, we can. We can show a sort of a demonstration.
If you're an electrician, Gary, you change the side of your van to say energy performance contractor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what you do is you then sell it on how much energy you're going to save, not what the cost of the kit is.
Yeah, okay.
It's great business.
Everyone comes down to what it costs.
Yeah.
In general life, it's not just talking about Acti 9, but generally, if you do invest in a decent bag of peas, and they're going to taste better, or they're going to keep your knee
They're
colder longer.
expensive.
You know,
They're expensive. Those AFDDs wouldn't keep tripping off. I wouldn't need to buy as many bags of peas. That's the problem.
But
Have you got AFDDs, Joe?
I do have AFDDs.
Do yours trip off?
They have been tripping recently, yes. Yeah.
I've got
I'm not sure
full
why.
AFDDs. Every single circuit in my house on AFD, the lot. I think I've got 17.
Our guests are heading off.
Oh, they're not. Are they going to say goodbye to our guests? So,
So nice to thank you for coming.
I'll keep young man, and we're going to go young man here. So thank you ever so much. We almost met in the Indian restaurant. Is that correct today? Yeah, and thank you very much for joining us on live stream. Can you show us your stickers? Because people want to see the stickers you got. These are going to be giveaways. Look at that. You've got the goat on there and some other stickers, but you got the goat. That's the main thing.
Very nice.
You haven't folded my head in, so that's good. So I'm going to fold in their head in. There's Joe as well. Give us a wave, Joe. There we go. Bring in the main can.
You having a nice time, Joe? Let your face know.
He's on holiday. How lovely that was.
Do you know, it's funny, as we were walking out of Mastab's, that lovely couple was sat behind us, and as we were walking out, we didn't know who they were, and I looked down and I was like, you should be an electrician wearing those trousers. And then about 10 minutes later, they popped in here, didn't they?
They arrived. Pop up. Is that right?
I haven't said in the comments. I said pop in.
Oh, right. Yeah. Why didn't he speak to us in the Indian?
I don't know.
Maybe he was a bit. Maybe he was a bit.
Maybe you'd intimidate
on
them,
edge,
Gary.
guys. After maybe he didn't want to be on camera. You know?
just shows that everybody's welcome at eFIXX.
They are. Everyone's welcome.
Everyone's welcome. Use it as a
I'm really glad they popped in. That was lovely.
Absolutely. It's good. So, loads of great stuff in there. This has to be hardwired into the internet, or can it work off the Wi-Fi?
It takes Wi-Fi inputs, but you have to have it hardwired to the BMS acceptor
Hard in,
to take the data.
It talks out on the Wi-Fi. Okay, that makes logical sense. Okay, most people can have hardwired internet connections in there. You want that reliable connection as well, don't you?
Absolutely.
All right, okay. Do you want to have a little Hammond moment? Do you want a little Hammond moment now? Shall we go through his promo?
We have got a promo, yeah. It is Black Friday coming up. I think Joe's got a special offer.
Black Friday is coming, and if you're not already all over this, you'd better get a move on. Introducing the Spit Electricians Starter Kit 2.0. This bad boy comes with the Pulsar 27E and carry case, everything you need to get the job done right from the get-go. Plus, you get 500 HC 617mm and 22mm premium pins. These aren't your standard pins, mind you. They're made for tough concrete and steel. So when the job gets tricky, you'll have the right tools to make it look easy. And they're throwing in 2 gas cartridges, so you won't run out halfway through a job. Not to mention 100 plastic cable tie clips and 100 metal cable tie bases to keep everything neat and tidy. These mini magnetic nose pieces, 3 of them, are spot on for precisely applying those Pulsar metal cable clips. You've got until midnight 2nd December. After that, this deal's gone. Don't wait around. Get over to Electrical 2 Go, grab your Spit Electricians Starter Kit 2.0 and get to work.
And by registering today on Electrical 2 Go, you could get an additional 5% off Spit accessories by using promo code SPIT5.
Just in case you haven't realised, just take a look at the screen now. Long, hard look. Something has changed. I have put my hat back on from the first half. I've just dropped it back on. So if you'd noticed that, congratulations. Okay. What are we up to then, Gordon?
Well, Gary, obviously there's another momentous occasion this week that he's been ducking out of all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That it was, in fact, Gary's birthday on Saturday. Yes, he was, in fact, the tender age of 50, so he's now closer to 60 than he is to 40. And we thought we'd best just celebrate that a little bit. We've done a little song. Let's just have a look at the Gary song first. We'll put the volume on, because you heard this down at the Indian.
Gather round and lend an ear. We've got a tale for you to hear of Gary Hayes, 50 strong and epic life. Now sing along. And electricians, sharp and true, he wired homes, fixed faults for you. But then he found a teaching role and sparked young minds to meet his goal. From college halls to YouTube fame, now everyone knows Gary's name. A star who shares his tips and skills with heart and laughs and endless thrills. Michelle is rock, so sweet and kind. Through every twist and turn she shined. With Finley and Vienna too, there Gary's pride, his dream come true. Once he loved a hearty meal, a pint or two, a full course deal. But now he's slim and feeling fine, though age has swapped the beer for wine. A generous man, he'll help you out. No task too small, no cause in doubt. But mornings early, beware the groan. He's earned the right to claim that throne. So here's to Gary, the big 5-0, with wisdom gained and still to grow. You're a legend, mate. We're here to say we love you more each passing day. Happy birthday, Gary Hayes. May your future be as bright as your sparks and your smile.
Yeah.
It's good, wasn't it?
Yeah, you didn't realise we were playing that over the music system in mass tabs earlier on.
The music tone changed. It had a bit of like country and western. It's like, there's a bit of a country and western twang to it. This has. I started listening and my name come up in it. I was like, I couldn't quite hear it. And I only got 50% of it there, so I will be taking a copy of that coming back. Obviously, I've got it on there.
Oh, we have got the cake.
I can't eat any of that, though, can I? Yeah. Good job, Josie.
Yes, you can sing, Jenny.
Thank you,
to you.
Oh,
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gary. Happy birthday to you.
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Oh, gee whistles. Gee whistles. I nearly, for the first time, did not keep it clean there. Oh, dear me. Oh, sounds like Gordon's AFDDs are going off. Wow. Okay.
Live TV, what could go wrong?
Thank you very much. Yeah, cheers, thank you.
Oh, we'll
Have I got to open this now, or we got to carry on?
I'll have the face on that, Jenny.
Yeah, have I got to open it now?
Yeah, you've got to open these. Yeah, we've got loads of.
Is it a Colin or a Cuthbert?
Oh, it's a Colin.
It's a Colin.
It's a Colin, I think. I don't want to damage it. I think oh wow, I think I know. I've got a whiff of this. This could be good.
Very privileged to be part of this special.
Yeah, well, yeah. I can't open it.
50 every day.
No, thank God.
Just as well, you've got to open a packet.
Look at that. That's brilliant. Oh, that is superb. Massive Back to the Future fan. So look at that. Back to the Future. I like that. I can't even remember doing that. Was that? When did I do that? Was that this week? I did that hat. I did with Eddie, didn't I?
Yes.
All right, wow. That come through quick. I'll read them in a minute. Thank you very much. It's got a whiff. Thank you. You've turned 50. Classic one line. Wow, so we've got to look at this board.
Yeah, come on, you've got to get
I've got a DVD player, so that's going to be no good to me. Don't tell me it's the book I've already bought, is it?
No.
No? Did I catch you out
I can't imagine you bought that one. But you'll
Is there a
probably...
decent R-fault detection device?
Oh, yeah. You see them online, don't you? All those people got ripped to sick, sitting in a chair. I don't think I'm going to be ripped. Oh, I can't open all of these live. No, it's going to...
Keep on going.
Thank you very much.
Generation game here.
Thank you, folks. Oh, look at that. Deep heat. Can't beat that. Yeah. It's all right. I used to strain my groins a lot playing football, some Beechams, and you always used to rub the old deep heat
Especially
on.
for the over 50s then, Gary.
Then always getting comments in as to what other gifts are
What's it?
going to be,
Ointments.
What
What we got?
What we got here?
Horlicks, can't beat that. As a kid, I used to have it before I went to bed. It used to help me sleep, allegedly. And now it rhymes with a favourite word. That does Horlicks. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to get nothing great by a card and a song, am I? Look at this. What's this? A pair of wire strippers from Nipex? Looks it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Some twin and earth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
Ergonomically shaped they look, Gary.
Just to level the playing field here, my daughter has an ergonomically adapted spoon and knife and fork for herself. So, yeah, that's good. Help me with me grip when I'm losing me. My mum will probably benefit from them when she comes round. She can't hold anything. Look at this. Werther's Originals, is it? Yeah, guess that one. Yeah, I like them as well. No, I've got this one. Oh, American hard gums, jelly fruits.
You can't have hard gums with your teeth. No, you're all...
I broke a filling on them before. Hoping it was a CD. No one owns a CD player. A badge. Look at that. I'll take the badge off.
Yeah, you've got to put the badge on.
Yeah, OK, I'll put it on.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, nothing worth taking home at the minute, is there? DP. Unbelievable. Last one.
The suspense is killing.
Oh, right, that's handy. No, that's good. I like that. That's good. Managed to look at that. You can position my iPad closer to me so I can see it.
Yeah. You can put that on your bureau. Next to your big phone at the bottom of the stairs.
And your big knife and fork.
It's got the big numbers on it. Got the big buttons.
It's a oh, Clarkson. Has he signed it? He has. Happy birthday, love, Jez. That looks like he signed it. I love it. I've got a signed signature. Look at that. Fantastic. That is brilliant. Thank you ever so much. Look at that. I can't see what it is. Is it a picture of me? No, it's a cow or a giraffe.
It's the goat.
Oh, it's the goat. Is it? I can't see. It's the goat.
It's at the bottom there, yeah.
Oh, yes, it's the goat. That's yeah. I like that as a nickname. Great old HC. Thank you very much, folks. You're overly kind and overly generous, and didn't want to do anything for my birthday, but thank you very much. Cheers. Meanwhile, back in the you can't believe he signed it, can you? Look at this. Look at it. Have a look at the signature. It's definitely him. Look at that. Look at that. I've got Clarkson signing stuff for me, eh?
Some might say it's not him, but
Some say.
Yeah. Well, they're doubters. They're out there. Yeah, they're out there. They're the ones who got AFDDs at triple the time. I've got stuff everywhere. That fripped me. That did.
So how on earth are we going to turn this back round, Gary? How on earth
we're going to look at this because this is the bits where obviously we're going to see some assembly features that we've got in this device. So I'm going to fit this one. So I'm going to fit your AFDD. Okay. So we can see now. Actually, we've got, if you take the hand cam for me.
Oh, here we go. Can you remember how to do this?
No, I always get it around the wrong way, so the old dyslexia kicks in. So we've got our 2 pins here. We're going to pick up our line and neutral. And obviously, when you look at the device initially, you're thinking, hang on a minute, I've got cables in, cables out. It's actually going to pick up the pins. Another giveaway is obviously as well, the shapes are different as well. So hopefully I'm going to get it around the right way. So yellow tab on the back. And the trick here, now hopefully you can see it for the tabs, is you just slightly lift them. So as I've gone in there with the device, you just bring them up. So in that position there, you can't pull them forward. You have to lift them in order to get them to slide out. So you see it move up, they click in. Okay, I've got the ability now to just lock my back piece in. And now using the lemon, which is here at the top, so if I pull it off, just going to take my lemon away, pull off my lemon, and I've got the ability now to use this. Because they've lifted up slightly now, you should find that you can just pull them across, whereas normally you can't pull them across. So you just take those and pull them across. So that's how that works. Obviously, you can reverse the process in order to just push them back into position. But in this place here now, they're actually now connected and pulling the current into the device and picking up the neutral. Here, when we see the actual bare ones here, we can see the fact that we've got our bare spades. Can you see that all right? Yeah, Hammond? Yeah, Joe, you see the spare spades? Well, even in this position, we wouldn't be getting anything because we'd have to pull the tabs forward, but we've also got the safety caps as well.
And we need to make sure they're always in place because
absolutely.
in the Acti 9s the live's always neutral, so we just need to remember that.
And if we wanted to get it off, allegedly you can still use this in order to pull this out, okay, but I find it incredibly difficult to keep my hands out the way when I do that, so I still tend to use the old screwdriver in order to do that, but in order to get it out, we're obviously going to have to slide those back as well. So that's how incredibly simple. You see how people think it saves them time, because how long does that take to do in order to make those connections? And what's beautiful is we haven't got that fly lead, have we? We've got rid of the fly lead. So as we've gone here with this one, again, that's an RCBO. Traditionally, we're used to seeing RCBOs that have the additional fly lead, and people, do or don't like them. In bigger boards, they're a little bit inconvenient because you end up with a big bunch of them, don't you?
And what you're also doing by eliminating the need to connect the wires, you're mitigating any wiring errors or any issues.
Again, another misconnection,
absolutely.
all the rest of it. Incredible, isn't it? Anyone who's fitted one of these or fitted its predecessor. So, Gordon, which ones were you fitting that had the same technology?
The same thing. It was obviously people know it as Merlin Durand before it became.
Oh, absolutely,
Schneider, wasn't it?
synonymous brand.
Yeah,
very popular, and it's still the brand that a lot of people talk about first.
It is,
including our own internal teams, by the way, because it's so ingrained in people's consciousness.
Has anyone grasped the same concept, picking up the neutral? Is there other people out there got it?
Other people are always going to be looking to emulate, but not at the minute.
No, okay.
We've still, and as I say, going back to the fact we're highly specified on Acti 9, we won that position by the quality and the ease of install and all of those credentials we already talked about.
Now, you had a question on there, John. You've fitted a lot of these things,
I have fitted a lot of them, yes.
Can you remember what your question was?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So it would be great if there was a way of being able to lock these off. So if you've got this slid back that way, and I could physically lock that off so it couldn't be actually activated. Is there a...
Well, we need to make sure that the shoes are on, as Gary's alluded to earlier. So if there's a spare way that you're not using, as long as those shoes are on, you're not going to put anything on it anyway.
Yep.
But you can, Joe.
Yeah.
Lock them off.
So if you're looking here, folks, I mean, it's going to be a bit difficult. I'll bring it in and zoom. I apologise. So you can see tiny little holes. Let's get it into focus. You can see tiny little holes in the side there of the grey one in the middle. the same on the brown one, and obviously black.
Yeah,
you can see them
there now.
Yeah, okay, my eyes. So exactly the same really principle we've seen before, where you put a little spring-loaded device in that pops out, and it puts the actual device into this side here and that side there, and then you put a padlock through it and you lock it off, so you can't actually slide it forward. And we did show that very quickly, didn't we, in our intro? We saw the fact that you could do that as well.
Yeah. And that is a proper rated isolator to the BS standard as well, which I didn't know. So I didn't know you could lock them in the off position.
Yeah.
No. I didn't.
Every day's a learning day, eh?
It is. I mean, as I say, it's I mean, it is a really
learn every day, as we say.
Yeah. They are incredibly safe board to work on, aren't they?
Been well thought out.
Yeah.
You've got the extra added facility. You can see what's happening with the device with the QR code.
QR code? QR code. It sounds like you'll be in on the QR. Are you going to scan a QR code for
we just need to get the device back off.
Oh, you want it off, do you? All right, okay, I'll take my lemon. I'll just do that. We'll talk amongst yourselves.
I was going to say, while you're doing that, the one thing, and maybe this is a bit of a Hammond top tip, but I know that there's a certain assessment that's done at the end of an electrical training programme, which is done over 3 days under a very controlled environment. But they use these boards.
Is that done in the morning? Yes. Is that an AM?
It's done in the AM, but only once, never twice.
Yeah.
And they use this particular type of board, but quite a common fail is that they don't slide these back across. They don't slide them across. So when they energise the consumer unit, distribution board.
It would be a distribution board. It's not consumer.
When they energise the consumer unit, what tends to happen is they go, oh, it's not gone live. So they rip it off again, but they don't carry out safe isolation because they're in that panic. So don't forget, when you're doing your assessment at the end of your electrical training.
In the morning.
AM.
Twice.
That you don't have to do twice. To make sure you slide those across.
That sounds like a short to me. Right, I'm coming in.
Fact.
Right. Yeah, fact short.
So
right.
another little feature on our Acti 9 device, you can see there's a QR code.
There is.
So if you take a trusty mobile phone device.
Is that an iPhone? You'll be all right then.
It's an iPhone, and you click on the QR code.
Okay.
That takes you through to Schneider site. And provided we've got the right amount of signal in the room, we can go through.
On our internet? Yep.
We are.
Okay.
So what does this tell us? It tells you range, description of the product. You can click on the characteristics, and it tells you about the range. It tells you the type of component, etc., etc., etc. Single polar neutral, curve code C, etc., etc. What it also does, takes you through to data sheets, and then in documentation, you've only got one click. It takes you through to asset life cycle documents, technical guidance at a glance, and product documentation. So it's all at a fingertip. You've got the Acti 9 Active brochure. Click on there, you're straight through to our website. Okay. That is all in that little QR code.
So it starts off with itself. It tells you all about itself, and then you can divert yourself off to see all about the range, etc.
But you've got data sheets on there. You've got all the technical legal blurb on there. So it's a good little tip, and not a lot of people know about it. So we just wanted to highlight that for you as well.
And the other thing we learned today was about the green tab.
But this isn't. Yeah, this is back to the Acti 9 product itself. This is down. Every single Acti 9 device has these built-in safety
breakers.
features. Yeah.
So, there we go. So you see the breaker is on.
So that's what we call.
Is on.
Gordon, do you remember what it's called?
It's the shutter. Is it the shutter? It's the Visi-Trip.
This is the Visi-Trip is the little window.
Visi-Safe.
Ah, there we go.
There you go.
There we go.
If it was there in that
as if we
position
rehearsed.
there, and we couldn't see the green in that position, it would actually probably indicate that the contacts are welded on. Is that right? It hasn't fully opened, does it?
That's right. So those little green, that's actually a little shutter. It's a mechanical shutter.
I wouldn't say, because here's one you dismantled earlier, Gary. Tomorrow's challenge is putting it back together.
Yeah.
So you see, it's just the first thought they were like a painted line or something.
Ah, there you go.
But it's actually a mechanical component.
Be careful, because we've had it apart before. Rick's had to put it back together.
Yeah, well,
so just be careful.
To do it. So you can see that actually moves.
Yeah, it does.
Everything's done for a purpose. Yeah. Everything's done for a purpose.
So if you switch it off and that doesn't appear...
Like you've broke it, yeah.
Yeah, it actually means the contacts aren't open.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
So rather than just a bit of painted green, just to sort of say...
I thought it was a bit of marketing.
Ah, you see.
Yeah.
You haven't done your job. We didn't know that, you see.
Well, you do now.
Well, no, that, but it's...
We had to wheedle it out, you know, didn't we?
Well, you've had a very in-depth
thumb
training
screws
session
on
today,
to get that out. Joe thought it was painted on.
Do other people...
It's a common misconception that that's just a painted line. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone's aware that that's one of the secondary safety.
I've got a board where the device is dropped down. We're thinking, look, it's a reset. Actually, if I didn't see the green element, we've got...
there's a problem inside the device, And that goes hand in hand with the other one, Gordon, that we've learnt about today as well, which
is...
VisiTrip.
Yes, the little red flag.
A bit more straightforward.
What we've done with a red flag. Okay. There's the red flag, you can see there. There we go.
So just show us that.
And again, what VisiTrip does, it enables you to see
there, John. Bring that in.
that if a device is tripped and you've got a whole bank of devices, you can see immediately which one's tripped. So that will illuminate red.
Right.
So you can visually see.
As opposed to the one that's just been switched off.
Yeah. So you can visually see the trip. VisiTrip.
Yeah.
Right.
It's another safety aspect.
Nobody knew about.
Acti9 devices. Well, more people know about it now. Your audience know about it. You guys know about it.
There's a couple of great shorts there, isn't there?
And I'm sure you'll preach the gospel now you know about it.
Yeah.
Well, it is. When we've learned how to put this back together, we'll be on it.
That was one of ours, by the way. We didn't dismantle one of yours.
Very good to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem. All right. Well, we didn't know that, did we?
And what's the other thing we didn't know? The feature that you like?
Don't know. No idea. No idea.
No. Think of wires, Gary, when you're doubling over.
Oh, right, OK, yes, look at those. We've got...
it's endless, isn't it?
No entry, so we've got no entry prevention. So, OK, so we've got a device here, Young Hammond. Okay.
Well, what's the problem that sometimes happens, Gary, when you're at college and stuff?
Yeah, so they go down the back. So effectively, they tighten it all the way up and pull the cable out. And they think, they put it back in.
Yeah.
And then they tighten it the opposite way round and jam it at the back.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, great, they've got a reverse screw. But, of course, your technology, which is... I can't help but get it in, which is great, and I've got the right screwdriver. There we go. So I can't help but get it in. So if I look here, I'll wind one in first, so as we see it. So imagine I'm trying to get that in there. We can already see the back section is blanked out, OK? So I bring my conductor in. Now, I've got the first one. Rick made this one off. So it's just here. So this old scraggy end here that Rick did. So you could just drop that in if you wanted to and tighten it up because the bloke's incredibly lazy. Can't be bothered to double or twist anything up. Or you could have the one that I made here, which is beautifully doubled over. OK, beautifully doubled over. So I'm gonna have to open mine a little bit bigger to get my large one in. And I drop it in like so. Oh, I said a like so. I got that in at last. It's got a whiff if I've done it right. And then we can tighten that one down. I'm not even sure. Oh, I'm in the right hole, so that's helpful. Yeah. So
never mind trapping the insulation under the clamp.
Don't worry about that. Have a look. Just look. I haven't missed anything but the insulation. I've got all of that. So there we go.
I think you're still reeling from the birthday.
Let's see if I did get that out. I measured it earlier on. I thought I got it perfect. Absolutely perfect. Let's have a look. Let's get me back in the room. Now there by copper. Get it in the shot then. Now by copper. Look at that. Hey, no, yeah. Well, for those people who haven't got decent eyesight, you can see it because it's all blurred. And a nightmare. There we go. So it's all good. So I measured it earlier on just to drop it in.
But there's three really good safety aspects.
Again, and we're not talking a tiny little board where you can stand on a pair of steps and just look to see them dropping in. We're talking rows and rows of side entry points. And you don't want that ability to send one round the back and then think you've got it, move on,
exactly,
and go again.
And again, it comes back to the speed and safety and effectiveness of an installation. And once you've got multiple boards and you've got multiple devices, all of these safety features that we've gone through, and I'm delighted we've gone through them, because although we're talking about the fact that Acti9's gone online, all these Acti9 features are there and have been there ever since the Acti9.
But that's your progress. We saw a time chart, didn't we, of 1980s to where we are now.
We always add. We never take anything away at the other end. So we always add
But you're 2 or 3 years ahead of us, so you know what's coming. You personally might not, but you know the research and development department know where they're going to take this next. Which is good. Be interesting. How many people are fitting this stuff? Have we had many come through?
What's in there? And there's a question that we probably need to do a video on this, on how we fitted the SPD in our board there, because that doesn't take up away in the unit. It is fitted in the what would sometimes be the meter enclosure at the bottom, but it's an iQuick device, they call it. That's built-in overcurrent protection and stuff.
I think it was the crimping that we had a bit of a jiggle with, didn't we, when we did it? I don't think we had... because
probably a short video on that if we're going to ever be bothered to turn the power off.
Yeah, well, we've got to turn it off at some point, haven't we? Yeah. Rick works live. So Rick don't double his cables over, but he works live, so he's got it all going.
It's not a double over either. We've had this argument already. Joe, you're not a double over, are you?
No, not on stranded cable.
Let's bring Rick in to defend himself. Rick, would you like to talk to your community? Rick, you're on.
Don't believe him. It's all BS.
You double nearly everything ever you touch over. Can you give us the football scores, Rick?
Yes, I can. We could See it on Andy's phone, to be quite honest. He's got some magic little app that tells you the lead score at the top, so it's 2-0.
It's a really bad line.
Yeah, my poor old son's dragged himself there for the away game. Wearing orange socks as always, folks, so just remember that, wearing orange socks as always. Any other ones in there? Any gems you want to just dig out as we're going through?
People would like to see consumer units with double pole bus bars, which I think,
We did talk about this off camera, and I think we can on camera.
Yeah.
There probably was one out there in the wild that had a go at it, and then they fell by the wayside, didn't they? And there was other people out there in the industry banging on how great they were. It is great technology because you've put it into this board, you know.
Yeah.
But maybe this style of distribution board, maybe than consumer units, is more the business of the focus, is it?
It's evolving. I mean, the home of the future, as we talk about a lot, the home of the future is a very different landscape to the homes we know now. And when you're talking about battery storage, you're talking about solar, you're talking about EVs. There's a new requirement for residential protection. Yeah. And there's been talk about three-phase going into domestic, isn't there? So nothing's, you know, it's not going to be that far away, I don't think. I mean, at Schneider, we've got our Easy 9 range and you know, we might not have the status that we would have in three-phase distribution with Acti 9, but we've got some very interesting elements of the Easy 9 range which are up and coming. So I'm sure that's another show for you guys. We're racking up the future shows here.
Well, I would have liked it because actually I've seen the Schneider products in France, which is head office. Zotelars, Rodney. Zotelars.
I thought you had a picture then. No picture.
No picture.
Just a statement of fact there, is it? It's just pick another part of the world we've seen one in.
Showing off again with his holidays.
Yeah, no, but that's common out there, double pole. The Schneider board. We'll have to have a show on the world's different consumer units. Obviously, I'll have to go out and purchase them in local DIY stores in those places.
Yeah, absolutely.
But our Resonite solution in Ireland's very exciting. That's a whole different thing again because they haven't got the same regs out there.
Oh, Ireland! We did a whole show on Irish regulations. We won.
Yeah.
We won. You won.
We did England versus Ireland.
Is that the drinking game? Or?
No.
We lost that one.
They've got something called the press.
I don't know though, folks. I don't know.
There was some funny
it's 3-6. We won 3-6. Well done, well remembered. I'll just bring in Joe Hammond if we were taking him. Sorry, no, we won't. Bring Joe Routledge. Bring in Joe Routledge. If we were taking him on at Drinking Joe, which member of the team would eFIXX send over the seas to take on the Irish? We've only got to send one member of the team. There's 8 in the team. We're all up for it.
Would you even try?
Would you send yourself, young man? Youngest
Depends
person?
what we're drinking. If we're mixing, probably not. Judging by Friday, as I'm sure you'll go into in a second.
Well, we're going to let you do that. We're going to let you flavour us out. So he took himself. I'll tell you the story. So we went out on a little bit of a festivity. The team, 12 of us, went there.
It was lovely.
We had some partners with us and some wives. You brought your significant other along as well. And we obviously had our Christmas do. We didn't necessarily have to call it a Christmas do, but it was a Christmas do. It also ran into my birthday, so it was quite it was a handy freebie for me that I got both my Christmas and birthday do. And Junior was at the bar a lot buying beverages of my choice. So we went through a few. We had baby Guinnesses, we had flaming Sambucas, we had tequilas and all sorts. We weren't having just a couple at a time. We were racking 10s at a time. So you're like 2 in it. I was fine. I got to bed about 2. I think I left just before 8, drove home. There's other people in the team, younger people in the team. They left at 12. Stopped 3 times on the way home to be sick. The first one, this is where you know you've made it in life. The first time he threw up, it was by the side of his car with the door open in an Audi car park. You know you've been out with Gary for a drink and you can't keep up. So
The one thing I'd add to that story is that you managed to stay up for sandwiches, whereas I didn't. So I went to sleep on a stomach with nothing but drinks in it. So
what about the full 3-course meal we had? Again, I'd just like to say, yes, I did stay up to 2. My wife spent 2 hours trying to get to bed, and that meant you went to bed before 12 o'clock, which is obviously quite young as well, isn't it? So we can't wait for next year. However,
as we call it.
Yeah, a fortnight's time when we do our one again. But it was great fun, I must admit. It was great fun. And we did a bit, we're going over to see Carl Mathers. I'm going tomorrow. So I'm going to see Carl tomorrow. So if you're watching Carl, great. If you're already in bed, I'll be over for a cup of tea. Got no idea what time it'll be, but me and Chris Horn will be with you sometime tomorrow for a tea'd beverage, doing our bit for Carl. Is there any more gems been come rundling through? Because we have got another video.
Have we?
We've got another video. We've got another video. Should we have another video? Let's put our other video on.
Formula One fans, here's your chance to snag this incredible Mercedes-AMG Petronas hoodie. And it's going to be easier for you to get your hands on one. To enter, simply register on the Signify Loom Expert app. Hit that WhatsApp icon in the corner and send the word giveaway. It's as easy as that. But wait, there's more. The first 100 orders over £200 will receive a free exclusive cap. The clock is ticking. This promotion ends on December the 8th, 2024, so don't miss out. Hit the link in the description below to download the Loom Expert app from Signify. Terms and conditions apply.
It wouldn't be fair, would it, if we've got Joe Robinson up here, that we don't have some sort of impromptu regulation corner. Now, he's done zero preparation for it, only mentally, so he's cajoled in his own mind what he's going to say in the next 7.5 minutes, and that's how long he's going to be talking about the wonderful product he has in his soft, manicured hands.
Oh, hello, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Regulation Corner, a very much impromptu and informal Regulation Corner this evening. But anyway, get comfortable, take a seat, and maybe pour yourself a drink. I don't know about you, but sometimes in this digital world, sometimes you want something analogue in your life, don't you? And that's very true of our friend Dale Kerry, who came up with an electrical innovation for the industry. He was on a treadmill one morning watching an episode of Electrical News Weekly. You would have thought that either one of those would have been punishment enough for him, but he wanted to do both. And as he was on his treadmill watching the news, he had an epiphany and realised that it was an opportunity to get this product in front of Electricians viewers. This is the diary of Dale Kerry. It comes not filled in, so you won't find any of his secrets in there. However, he's designed it for electricians. After a long, fruitless search trying to find an electrician's diary and finding only things with electrician's diary written on the front, he decided this was the way forward. He had to make his own. So he created this in the front here. He's got handy dates, he's got a handy planner, he's got information about equipment and calibration dates in there, and he's also put some relevant tables from the regs to make sure that he doesn't have to carry 5 or 6 different books into a property. He's also got here a daily planner, and you can see in there you've got the times at the top, and on every page you've got the opportunity there to fill in testing information on the circuits that you've been working on that day. But the thing that I love the most about this diary is that by the time you get to Saturday and Sunday, there's no testing table there. That tells me one of two things. Either Dale doesn't work weekends, in which case bravo, that's a good call, or perhaps he's on jobs that don't require testing at the weekends. You know, those little jobs that you just squeeze in? Who knows? We'll leave that up to Dale and his conscience. However, this diary is now available for you to purchase online at Amazon. If you buy this, you'll be helping Dale out, you'll be putting some money in his pocket, and you'll also be helping yourself out with your own diary. So the next time you feel like an analogue native in a digital world, then reach out for this special electrician's diary. It'll fare you well. But what do I know? I'm just an electrician. I won't keep you any longer. Thanks for stopping by, and the next time you're passing, drop in, say hello. You know there's always a place for you here, even at an impromptu Regulation Corner.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
it's good. Into the book.
I've got the other one.
Yeah, right.
Sent
That's
2.
fine.
Dale sent 2 through.
Yeah, happy days. I look forward to seeing all those test results you fill in.
Well, just
at the weekend.
Brilliant. Yeah, really good. So again, if you want to support an electrician, there's a link in the description. Did we say that? Links in the description?
I did put the link in the description.
So if you want to go over, buy yourself a little present, and just think to yourself, again, whatever it is, it's helping an electrician.
Christmas coming up, isn't it?
Is it? But not everybody celebrates it, Gordon. It's just
No,
the
they
end of
don't.
the year. It starts a new year.
A lot of people do, though.
A lot of people do.
This time of year.
They do. I will be celebrating it, yes. In a different part of the world. So maybe they don't celebrate it out there, do. But
That nightclub you went into last year.
Fantastic. That was, wasn't it? Yeah. Mohammed, he don't celebrate it, does he?
No, he doesn't. He did with you last year.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he took one for the team.
He was in the same nightclub.
Yeah, he was there before me, though.
Yeah.
It's a worry, isn't it?
There we go. Anyway, I think, yeah, it's amazing actually how many people, Ross, who we work with, you know, he always sends his invoices pretty quick on Xero, digital, yeah. But when you book him in for a job, I'll just have a look at the diary, and the diary gets flicked open to book you in. So, yeah, are you a diary person, Joe?
Yeah, I mean,
whoa. It's got my name on it before you know what you're like.
Yeah, but a digital diary, but yeah, I like the sound of this, and yeah, no testing on Saturday.
Huh?
Yeah, I like that. This is great.
We don't do a lot of testing here at eFIXX. We're shooting a video. I didn't see many test results for this place. Did we get a set?
No, I don't think so.
Didn't pay him either, though,
No.
so just remember
There we
that. He did it for free. Good old Eddie.
But it's safe.
Yeah,
It's safe.
Yeah, okay. That's good. Anything you want to pull out there before we...
Brilliant. I mean, I would say people, obviously, if there's people who are new to this range, how do they get some help? That would be the one. Obviously, you know, taking on when you look from the outside, well, there's a lot of stuff in that range.
Yeah.
How do you get started? Who do you call?
First, Ghostbusters? No. First point of call will be www.sc.com/UK. UK and I website.
Yep.
Just put into the search bar at the top. There's also an AI element to our website now, so we can get all really clever and technical. You put in Acti9, you put in Acti9 Active, it will take you through to the relevant pages.
Yep.
Loads of information, loads of support tips on there as well. So that's probably the first port of call.
Yep. But I'm like Gary. I'm analog man in a digital world.
Man.
I want someone to come out the site. I've got a big project.
Yeah.
I want someone to come and see me. I've got people floating around.
There's always people to support. We'd have to get you the details for that, which I can do, and I can get that loaded on your site for you.
I think that'd be one, because it's. I think that
Just filled your first one in for you, young man. There we go. What's the date there?
23rd of July.
Okay, and what's it say next to it?
It says 50.
51. Yeah, you're 51 on the 23rd of July.
Yeah.
It'll be here before we know it, young man. Yeah, we'll be there before you know it. That's brilliant. So I'm the first one to write on your diary. That would really, really bother me that someone's done that, but never mind.
Oh, this is Joe's
This
diary.
is Joe's, is it? So he knows when your birthday is. That ain't going to help him, is it? That is not going to help him at all. So thank you ever so much. If you've watched this live, we really appreciate you giving up an hour and 40 minutes, hour and a half, whatever we've done, an hour and 25 minutes of your time in order to join us this evening. It is uber important that you get your comments in, because it helps us to drive future live streams. I'm sure we're going to have Schneider Electric back. We haven't brushed the surface of anything you've got in the back catalogue. And as we said before, you go from supply transformer almost to outlet, okay?
Almost
to outlet. Yeah,
yes.
We may have knocked that part of it on the head, but we do everything in between.
Many things in between, and we'd love to come back again. It's been a great day. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. You've been great hosts.
Well, we've learned some stuff.
And we've looked. I'm a training manager, and you've learned stuff, so there must be a correlation there.
Yeah, it's good. We've learned how incredibly slow you are on the wall.
7 minutes, something.
It was under 10, which was
under 10.
Yeah, aim low and just miss
7
it.
something. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And I won the darts.
And Joe's, there's a hint that we should be paying Joe more for his modelling part in that
the
Signify
guy's a legend.
video there.
Bring him back in. For all the stick he's took this evening, he's bring him back in. The bloke's a legend. He's behind the camera. He sits there. He gave up his Indian. Doesn't come for the Indian, do you, Joe?
I went to gym, to be fair.
Did you? Oh, I'll give you all the chances to say, no, I stayed behind and I worked really hard, Kaz. Yeah? Okay. And where was the second place you threw up?
Second place, some random, like, petrol station. You know, like the really sort of scratchy petrol stations you see on just a random road.
What, did you make it to the toilet in there or not?
No, it was again.
Okay.
If you slipped on the pavement pizza at a bad petrol station, you'll know who to blame now.
And if only you'd had them sandwiches, he'd have saved himself, wouldn't it? It's the sandwiches that are so
They were lovely. They were lovely sandwiches.
Get them in. Get them in. Where was the third place? Bring yourself back in. Let's get the trio. Where was the third one?
Third one, I think service station.
Okay. And you didn't eat until 6 o'clock at night. You told me you're going to have a Chinese restaurant meal type thing, did you?
I got Domino's in the end, so.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to have when
you felt great after Domino's?
No. Luckily not.
If nothing else tonight, lesson learned, never drink with Eddie, and I'm not far behind him on a good day. So that's what I would suggest on that one. Next time out, we've got Shelley, haven't we?
We have got Shelley, yes. And then, if anyone's in the area on Thursday the 12th, you can have a drink with Gary.
Yeah, we're going now.
We're going back out in the town of Skipton.
Yeah.
So
I'm not driving home early Friday, that's for sure.
We're drinking Willie Paul from Dock Store. Will be joining us, I'm sure.
Mohammed's coming as well this time.
Is he?
So he's going to come, yes. Yeah, he wants to make sure he gets an invite, so we're all going out.
Right.
Everyone's welcome. So if you're in the area on the 12th, just make your way down to Lineside Studios for about 5:30, 6 o'clock. We'll probably grab something to eat. Won't have any sandwiches halfway through the evening because we hear it sobers you up too much. So we'll have a crack at that on the way through. Sorry? Yeah, well, yeah, I got over last year. Andy, you've been absolutely tremendous guest off camera. You've been even better on camera. And like you said, when we learn something, hopefully our audience also learns something as well.
Good.
And we would suggest, like we've got it here, there's quality oozing out of these products. And where there's quality, there's safety.
Perfect.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson, for joining us as well.
You're more than
That's all
welcome.
good. So, yeah. Next time out is Shelley. We're back in a fortnight. We'd like to thank you ever so much for joining us on the live stream. And it'll be a new end song. The hero of the end song will be Andy. So make sure you stay until the very end.
It's another great night on eFIXX TV. Andy from Schneider sharing what's key. The future of safety, circuits that protect, innovation and passion. What else to expect? For learning or rather, the team's all here with Gary's Big Five. Oh, let's give him a cheer. Will he make it through the credits? We'll have to see. Hold on, make sure call, and he'll need a wee.